Top 10 reasons last gen Black Ops 3 is better than current gen Black Ops 3. In no particular order, let's go. Number 10. No forest cutscene. Starting off with a massive time save here on last gen BO3, it does not force you to sit through the dumb forest cutscene after every single game, meaning that you can get right back into a game quicker than you'd be able to on current gen. I mean, just stop and think about how much time you've spent waiting for this cutscene over the amount of times that you have played Black Ops 3, and to think how much more time in-game you would have been able to get to if this forest cutscene just did not exist. Moving on to number 9, we have the difficulty shakeup. For those who think that Black Ops 3 is way too easy and want a more challenging experience, look no further than last gen BO3. With it being a pre-patched state of the game, some of the mechanics are not what you're used to, such as getting hit by a zombie stopping your sprint, Gobblegums not being free for the first one around, and there's no invincibility while popping in plain sight or ABH for easy escapes. There is no get out of jail free card like that. Last gen BO3 is truly Black Ops 3 on veteran difficulty for those seeking a challenge. Moving on to number 8, we got the pre-patch Haymaker and Blast Furnace. For those that have been longing for another experience with their beloved pre-patch Haymaker, hey, it's been here the whole time. Blast Furnace on last gen BO3 is still very much able to kill full hordes with ease, just like the good old days. Now on to number 7, we got kind of a bit of a weird one here, and it's the fact that the KRM reloads differently on last gen BO3 and actually reloads quicker on last gen BO3 compared to all the others. And I don't know if it's just no one, I don't understand how no one's noticed this, but I guess the KRM's reload is very buggy, and I was doing some testing on both current gen and last gen for this, and I came across with some mixed results. I want to say that this bug happens on both current gen and last gen sometimes, but it seems like that sometimes with fast mags, if you put fast mags on the KRM, it won't work whenever it's upgraded, and sometimes it will only reload 2 at a time when it's supposed to reload more. And like I said, I really think that this is also possible on current gen. If this has happened to anyone else, please let me know in the comments, but I mean, I'm not really much of a KRM user, but I swear I've had this happen on current gen as well. But anyways, what's even more bizarre is that without fast mags, the KRM on last gen actually reloads more. So it's actually better to use no fast mags on that. Very, very weird circumstances here. Anyways, up next at number 6, we have a little bit of a strategy with the Wolf Bow or the Apothecan Servant plus Blast Furnace. This is kind of a unique visual glitch, if you want to call it, that happens on last gen BO3 that occurs when activating Blast Furnace and then switching to either the Apothecan Servant or the Wolf Bow, depending on what map you are. All of the zombies will be affected by the Blast Furnace, but the animation of them being either hit by the Wolf Bow or being sucked up by an Apothecan Servant shot will play. And in terms of the Apothecan Servant, it will kill the horde faster, so it's actually a viable strategy when it comes to high rounds. Meaning that the zombies will despawn faster, and then even with the Wolf Bow it's very useful too, because all the collision goes away with the zombies too, so it is really good and actually a fairly useful tactic to use. Moving on to number 5, we have a more useful free Mega Gobblegum Easter egg. With there being less Mega Gobblegum in the game, because obviously DLC 2, 3, and 4 Gobblegum don't exist, the free Mega Gobblegum Easter egg has a higher chance of getting something useful like an Unquenchable, rather than like the board games, the bored to death, the unbearables that you always seem to get in current gen. Like, most of the times when I'm on last gen BO3, I'll do the free Mega Gobblegum Easter egg on both Shadows and DE, but on current gen, I don't even bother with the one on Shadows. I'm not gonna lie, I don't even bother with the one on Shadows on current gen. I'll at least try it here, because usually I'll end up getting something semi-useful. At least more so than I would on current gen. Moving down to our number 4 spot, we have that players on last gen have less skill issue. Yes, last gen BO3 takes more skill to play, I said it, okay? There's way less get out of jail free cards. ABH and In Plain Sight do not have the invulnerability whenever you pop them. The zombie AI is absolutely ridiculous. They will windmill you and 5-tap you without even thinking. Because of this, players that you usually find on last gen BO3 generally have more skill than your average current gen player who can't play without mega gobblegums and probably are gonna, rage quit after about 5 rounds. And speaking of rage quitting, number 3. No closing app. I mean, sure, closing app does still technically happen and it is still technically possible to do on last gen BO3, however, it is not abused to the extent that it is on current gen Black Ops 3. To the point where it's more likely that a public match will actually end in a game over, or at the very least, a solo game, just because everyone else just kind of quits out after time instead of, rage quitting, or because they went down, or whatever. But anyways, take this public match for example right here. Somehow managed to get a public match of last gen Horizon Drac to go into the 40s. Let's be real though, if I were playing on current gen, I'd be lucky to hit round 4 without a host migration, a connection interrupted, or someone leaving. Let's be real, and you can't even argue that because you know it's the truth. Moving on to number 2, we have the Wolf King's protection. At the launch of Horizon Drac, players who built the Wolf Bow would not be damaged by running through the electric trap sitting in front of Speed Cola. At the time, really, it made sense in terms of headcanon. It's still my headcanon that the Wolf King watches over you and whatnot. However, unfortunately, this eventually did get patched on current gen, and it only works on last gen now, so I guess the Wolf King only watches over last gen players now. It's a bit unfortunate, but it is what it is. And for the number 1 spot, of course, it has to be all the Raygun skins. I could go on about this topic for a while. I mean, I was originally planning to make a video about this, about all the different Raygun skins that I've encountered. Unfortunately, a lot of the old footage that I had was either lost or corrupted, so really, all I have are the screenshots left. I'm going to be sharing all that on screen. So, it's a bit unfortunate, and I'm never really going to be able to actually make a video out of it. So, I guess this is kind of going to turn into that video. But, yeah, anyways. Of course, most players know about the gold ray gun and the silver ray guns. They seem to be the most common, however, they are far from the only ones. I mean, I've come across some. I've come across so many, and even when I was trying to get some extra gameplay for this, I managed to come across a new Raygun skin that I have never seen before, and I believe this one that you're actually seeing here is the texture of the Gobblegum machine's glass. So if you didn't know how this works, is that sometimes the Raygun will just take the texture of a different perk, so it could be the Speed Cola perk machine or the Deadshot perk machine, or it could be the Stamina perk machine, which is really noticeable. But yeah, it's really cool. It's every single time I think that I've seen it all when it comes to how many Raygun skins are in this game. The game just gives me another, so I don't think I'm ever gonna actually make a full video of that. This is going to be that video, and I guess this is going to be the place where I share all the screenshots that I've just been piling up over the years, so here you go. If it's any reason to go and play Last Gen BO3, this is it, because these are so cool. But anyways, that's all I got for this video. My voice is dead. I've never really done a legit, scripted video like this before. I'm probably not going to again. This is just something special that I wanted to do. This kind of content's not necessarily my style, but this one's kind of a special video that I kind of just had to get done. But, anyways, with that being said, you should take this video 100% seriously. And, you should, totally like and subscribe, or Last Gen Richtofen will appear in your bathroom mirror.